Hi, my name is Ben, and welcome to Ben's Language Lab. Stories are one of the best methods to improve at a language, and stories with pictures, like this one, are even better. And so today, we're going to read a comic together, you and me. This video is meant for English beginners, but if you need, there are subtitles available, or you can see the entire transcript on benslanguagelab.com. Make sure that you subscribe for more videos just like this one. For now, your job is to watch, listen, and enjoy. And if you hear some construction, I'm sorry. I have tried to wait, but they're not stopping. It's already 6:20 in the evening. It's very annoying. I apologize. But right now, we're reading Tintin and Red Rackham's Treasure, which is the second comic in a series of 2. We started with Tintin and the Secret of the Unicorn, and now we're reading Red Rackham's Treasure. And we're about, I think, halfway through. So, if you haven't seen the other episodes, make sure that you watch those first and then come back here. All right, let's start learning. So, as we saw last time, Tintin is going under the water. He's diving down. And we ended with Snowy barking and Haddock looking over the edge. And of course, Snowy then falls. Oof, ow! Right onto his bum, his rump, his tuchus, his booty, his butt. All the same word. And then we hear from Haddock, "That's it, he's touched the bottom." And then Snowy is a little bit upset. "Oh, where's Tintin? He's sad. Where's Tintin, his friend?" Tintin is down here at the bottom of the ocean. He's walking on the ground, and he's in this big suit, his diving suit. He has gloves, an entire pressurized suit on, and a big old helmet. And you can see out of the little window at the front here. And we see that he has a tube here for oxygen, it looks like, of some kind, or pressure. I don't really know. And then this is the rope. He's holding the rope. Remember, there's the signal. Twice for something and a lot of times for danger. I don't fully remember. But we see some fish around here. There's some seaweed. A sea star, plenty of marine life. And here we see it. There is the wreck of the unicorn, the wreckage. It looks really cool, doesn't it? Here we see a jellyfish. Here's some other fish. A school of many fish. There's 5 of them, it looks like. And then we also see the boat. Here it is. This looks like, here's the mast. Right, here's a big mast. There's a bunch of rigging, a bunch of ropes. This looks like it might be the back, maybe. I'm not really sure, but I think it's the back of the boat. And here we see Tintin walking along towards the big wreckage of the boat. And here's the other side of it, further along. I wonder what he's going to find. And so he walks up to it and says, "So this is the unicorn." He's under the helmet, so this is the unicorn. And he goes in. There's bubbles coming out of his helmet as he's breathing. You want to come up? Come here. Come in. He doesn't want to come up. There's a cat. And he goes inside. He goes in this door. He's now inside the wreckage. We see a human skull. We see a skull on the ground. A bunch more fish in here. He's definitely... Come on. Come on up, dummy. Come on. Subite. Okay, he does not want to come up. But he does at the same time. All right, we'll see if he joins me. But we have to go to the next page. Oh, there he is. And we see Tintin now is talking to himself, and he says, "Crumbs, what's happening? The air supply is stopped." So that's what this is. It's an air supply. They're pumping air so we can breathe. But then at one point it goes, I can't breathe. The air supply is stopped. Thundering typhoons, what are you two doing there instead of pumping? He says. Haddock is looking back at the Thompsons. Their job is to pump and give him air, because that's what Tintin needs, right? And so they're pumping air down the pipe so that he can breathe it. To pump something is when you put air into it, right? So, but then they say, we're resting. It's tiring work, you know. And they said, we're resting. We're taking a break. You infernal impersonations of abominable snowmen, pump for your lives. Faster! Ooh. And so he's calling them names, right? You infernal impersonations of abominable snowmen. I'm not even going to get into that because there's a bunch of different words, but they're good words. But he's saying, pump, damn it, pump, faster. And then Tintin goes, oh, phew, that's better. Now the air's coming again. That gave me quite a fright. Right? Imagine if you're down under the ocean and suddenly you can't breathe. That would be very scary. That would give you a fright. You'd be very frightened. So the air is coming again. He can breathe. Excuse me, Captain, but I don't understand. Since the unicorn is not here, why has Tintin gone down? Is what Calculus is asking, because again, remember, he's not very, he's sort of smart, but he's very behind. He's deaf. He can't hear anything. And then Haddock, of course, responds, he's picking daisies below. Daisies are flowers. So he's saying that he's down there picking flowers, right? Is what he's saying that he's doing. And then, no, of course, you idiot. He's down there at the boat. It's here. And so Calculus is wrong again. And so we see Tintin going into the wreckage more. We see some stuff on the ground, another skull. And he goes, huh? He sees something. What does he see? And then Calculus heard daisies down below, and having a row, I don't see a boat. Looking out over the water. And then Haddock feels two jerks on the line. Somebody pulls it twice. Somebody's Tintin. Two jerks on the line. He wants to come up. He must have found something. Heave ho! Heave ho! So they're pulling him, heaving, and that's just a thing that you might hear sailors say, right? Heave ho! Heave ho! And they're pulling up Tintin, and there he is. Here he is. Or, I don't know who's saying that. Here he is, or here he is. And he's coming up slowly on the ladder. He's on the ladder now, and he climbs up. And he's climbing here. And he's got some things in his hands. He's holding a couple of different things. A gold cross, encrusted with precious stones, and a cutlass. I say, this cross is superb. And so this is a cross, right? It's a cross from Christianity. And he's saying that it is, or some, I don't know exactly what it is, but it's from probably a Christian religion. And it's encrusted with precious stones. So that's this here, and here. When you encrust something, it's when you put an expensive stone like into it. And he's also got a cutlass. This is this kind of sword. A cutlass has a handle here, and then there's a cross guard there, and then there's like the entire sword part, something like that, right? That's a cutlass. They are swords that were used by pirates, and they look pretty cool. But yeah, here we can kind of see it right there. That's a cutlass that he brought up. And so this is superb. It's beautiful. It's expensive. It's made of gold, says Haddock. We've made a good start, huh? Says Tintin. And now, of course, Calculus is very confused because he thinks he can hear. He thinks that he can hear what people are saying, but he can't. Now, why did he tell me that Tintin had gone for a row? He's very confused. She's gone for a row. That's not right. Where did he go? It's a good start, but this is nothing to what else we shall find. You'll see. I'm going down myself this time, says Haddock. So now he's going to go because it's only a good start. They've only just begun. They're going to find a lot more. This is nothing compared to what they've found. This is a small amount. And you'll see, Tintin, I'll go down now. And then he says, by the way, any sign of sharks? No, none at all, says Tintin. Good. Now here's your helmet, says Tintin. And we still see Professor Calculus in the background, very upset. I don't know if... Here, let me move him over. There he is. He's very upset. He's not very happy with how he's being treated. And so there's no sharks, but we're good. And then we suddenly hear, ow! Whatever's the matter, he says. Blistering barnacles, my beard! And so he got his beard caught in the helmet. He was putting on the helmet and it squashed his beard. He goes, oh, ow! There. Now your beard is inside, says Tintin. Good. You can close my helmet now. Keep an eye on that pumping, he says. He wants air the entire time he's down there. So he's ready to go down, and there he goes. We see Haddock going down to the bottom of the ocean, the sea floor. Aha! Now to find the treasure, he says. Then a few minutes later, a series of jerks. The danger signal, says Tintin. He feels tug, 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 tug. A series of jerks. Oh no! Hurry, hurry! Pull him up! Something frightful must have happened. He says, something's wrong! Pull him up! Quick! Quick! And then they're pulling, and Snowy gets hit in the face. He's smacking him in the face. And then let's hope it's not a shark, is what Tintin says, right? If it's a shark, then it's a problem. Then we see him coming up at last. And he holds up what looks to be a bottle of some kind. It's got a cork in the lid. Here's a cork, and it's got a body like a bottle. And Haddock is coming back up the ladder here. What did he find? What's the problem? A bottle? What can that mean? And then Haddock says, a bottle of rum, my friends. Jamaica rum. And it's more than 250 years old. Just you taste it, he says. So we found rum. He found booze. He really wants to drink. And it's 250 years old. It's very old. And so he goes to try it. And he goes... It's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. You just taste it. Yes, that's for you. I'm going straight back to myself to get another. But it's empty. He drank the entire bottle. He's not sharing. And then he immediately jumps off in a headfirst dive. This is called a dive. When you dive headfirst, you put out your hands and you dive into the water. And he goes under, and then Tintin says, that beats everything. He's gone in without his helmet. And that beats everything is sort of like saying that's the stupidest thing, right? That's the dumbest thing. That's the top. He can't get any more ridiculous. He went in without his helmet. He can't breathe down there. And of course, Snowy gets smacked again with the rope as it gets pulled out. He might bark. And then they're pulling him back up as he's soaking wet. He is totally drenched in water. His hair is wet. He's covered in water. Billions of bilious blue blistering barnacles. Those two jellyfishes forgot to pump again, he says. And so he's blaming the Thompsons because he thinks that they forgot to pump even though he can't breathe because he doesn't have a helmet on. You need to cover your head, you fool. And then he calls them sea gherkins, freshwater swabs, ectoplasms, bashy bazooks. But it wasn't us, but you. Silence! You were told to pump, then pump, by thunder, he says. He's blaming them as he dries himself off with a towel, trying to get the water out of his hair. And then he says, it's no use drying yourself, Captain. You must empty your suit first. Take it off now, because there's water inside of his suit, of course. Take it off? Never! I'll rest a minute and then I'll go down again. And he sits down and quickly learns that he's completely full of water. There's water inside of his suit. As he sits down, which makes the water splash out, making him all wet just again. And Tintin, of course, knew this was going to happen. He said, you have to empty your suit first, of course. And so he sort of just laughs at him and says, you fool, you big, blistering, barnacled fool. You see? I told you so. Your suit is full of water. You'll have to empty it, he says. And so they grab him by the feet, they turn him upside down, and they pour out all the water. There, he says. Now you can go down again, but if you still want to. But don't forget your helmet this time. Right? Only if you want to. Now you can go down again. You're empty. You don't have more water. But make sure you put on your helmet. So there he's going again, and he says, off we go. As for you, my hearties, just keep on pumping until you're ordered to stop. You understand? Yes, we're pumping. So they say. And so they continue pumping here. And they're pumping air and air. And so he goes down again. And there he goes. There he goes now. And then that same evening, later that day, there is a whole lot of rum. He found plenty of rum, and even Snowy looks like he wants some. He's looking, that looks tasty. And there they are, they're drinking together, and they're having a bit of a drink. And then we see they have the cross, and Haddock is very happy. He's got a big old smile, and he says, a good day's work. First that cross, and then, more important, all this rum. Fine stuff, eh? Yes, but I'd sooner have found the treasure, says Tintin. I really wish that we found the treasure and not rum. I'd sooner have found the treasure is a way of expressing want, right? I would have rather have found the treasure. Oh, we'll find that tomorrow, won't we, Professor Calculus? Says Haddock. Perhaps, but I'm inclined to think it is rum, he says. Which we don't really know what he says, but what he thought he heard, but it's rum. And then we hear, cheep, cheep, cheep. Shh, says Haddock, which startles Professor Calculus, and he goes, and he's drinking and goes, ah, right, as there's some sort of noise from outside. So I wonder what that noise is. And then we hear, he says, it sounds like some sort of bird. Cheep. And then Tintin says, I'd say it was a squeak of a badly greased wheel. Something like that, probably. Let's see. I want to set my mind at rest, he says. I want to know what that noise is. When your mind is at rest, you're not worried about something. You know what something is. And then Tintin is pointing out and says, look, there, Captain. It's the pump making that noise. It's the pump making that noise. I wonder what's making the noise. And we see the two Thompsons almost asleep, still pumping. What do you think you're doing at this hour? You ordered us to never stop pumping, Captain. And so here we are. Pumping. To be precise, we're pumping. Off to bed, nitwits. You'll have plenty more pumping, believe me. And so finally, they get to go to sleep. However, we're going to have to continue with the rest of this story in the next episode. We're going to leave it there for today. Thank you so much for watching and enjoying. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and comment with how it went. And remember, transcripts for all episodes are available on benslanguagelab.com. I'll see you next time. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.